Hello, you lovely people. Niho here from Niho Models and Art. And in this video, we're going to talk about brushes, but not especially about which brushes to get, like in reference to synthetic or real hair brushes. We're more going to talk about which brush to use for which application in a really simple manner. But most of this video will be about how to take care of your brushes in general, how to clean them, how to deep clean them, and then how you restore your brush so that you enjoy your favorite brushes for a long time. Generally, I would recommend you in the beginning just to get an inexpensive set of brushes with some very fine ones, some flat ones, and maybe also with some dry brushes. For this video, I just picked out two brushes because these are the two brushes I use the most. First one, we have this. It's marked with the number 1. Generally, the higher the number gets, the bigger the brush becomes. The lower, like here we have 0, the finer the brush gets. I have brushes down to like 5 zeros up to like a number 3. What I use this brush for is mainly base coats. So with this brush, after the model is primed, I apply the base coats. This tip is like really, not in the best condition anymore, but it serves a purpose. It gives me the chance to apply a very thin and precise coats without too much spillage or some extra color that gets into like recesses or masks off some details. So a bigger, not too flat brush is perfect for applying your base coats. And then you have these thin, almost needlepoint brushes that are excellent if you want to paint details. So the higher the 0 number gets, the finer the brush becomes for even finer details. This one, the 0, you could not only use for details, but also to like freehand paint some camo patterns after the base coat is done. So like I said, get an inexpensive set of brushes just so you have something at hand. And what I would watch out for is you see these almost triangle-like shape. That's very nice if you're painting for a long time, so you can grip on to the brushes better. That's just what to look out for. You will develop your own preference for brushes. If you get expensive or cheap ones, most of the time it doesn't really matter. Get the cheap ones, but what matters is how you take care of your brushes. When I started painting, I was so lazy that I had like 5 brushes from Revell sets that came with the sets. And after I used one color, I just put the brush away. And when it was time for the next color, I just took a clean brush. And I did that all night or during the time I was building on that day or painting. And after that, I cleaned. For me, now that's a big no-go, because the acrylic paint, it will harden and it will be harder and harder to get the paint off. So after you're done with a coat, with a detail, with one of the colors, the first thing you want to do is simply rinse them in some water. Plain and simple. What's important? If you got a brush like this, you can dip it like deep inside the water and even swirl around on the bottom, because this brush is not for details. This brush can handle that. If you're cleaning one of the detail brushes, you don't go all the way inside your water. You just swirl it around and then drag it across the sides of your container. This way you don't ruin the tip. So water, basic. And after you're done rinsing your brush, always make sure to wipe them almost dry on a paper towel. Like with this one, you can be a bit rougher, but with the detail brushes, just drag them along. One important advice, don't twist them while you drag. This way you will curl the bristles, and that's not good for the brush tip. So drag it along, turn it, drag it along. That's your basic cleaning out of the way. If you're done with painting for your session, you can use something like this special made brush soap. But to be honest, any bar of soap will do. What you want to do is get your brush clean and a little bit wet, and then just make some little circles, turn it, make some more circles, drag it across, and then you wash it off in the water again. From time to time, or when it's a brush that is in contact with a lot of paint, you can apply a layer of soap. You can also do it with the fine detail brushes, and then you just let the soap work for about an hour, or you can even leave it in overnight. This way you will get rid of more of all the paint that accumulates inside and on the hairs of your brush. Important when you clean these brushes with the brush soap, again, little circles, just drag it, don't push it inside, this will ruin the tip. And when you're planning on leaving in the soap, like overnight, you can reform the tip of the brush. That's rather easy. You just drag it along and remove the excess soap until you're happy with the tip, and then you leave it to dry. Don't leave it to dry like this in a container, leave it horizontally. Or if you want, you can get some tape and glue it on the side of a bottle to stay brushed side down. What you can also do to reform the tip, I've seen this online, you just take the crease of your hand and drag it through there. This will put the fibers together of the brush and also reshape the tip. If you're using your brushes a lot, no matter how often you reapply brush soap and let it work overnight, the tip will become a bit feathered or something like that. Yeah. In this case, you can use something like a brush restorer. I got this one from Vallejo. What this thing does, it's not going to get the brush back to factory new, but it's going to make the tip way more pointier, like it would be when you're just using soap. The way to do this is you push your brush in the soap for like a minute. Again, watch that you're not pushing with it on the bottom of the container. Just hold it in there for like a minute, take it out, wipe it again off the excess, form the tip with the crease of the palm of your hand. But then it's really important to store it upside down. Just take some adhesive tape and put it against like your side of the table or some small container or water bottle. You leave that in for 12 to 24 hours. And what you will notice is that the brush is very hard, almost as it was factory new. That's completely normal. That's the brush restorer hardening the bristles and pulling them back together. Before you use the brush again, it's always important, just like when you let it soak in the soap overnight, to just rinse it in water a little bit. Don't push on the bottom, just swirl it around and drag it a bit across the side walls of the container. That's the brush restorer. And with these two things, with the soap and the restorer, you will get like a year or maybe more out of a heavily used brush. If you want to give your brushes a deep clean, that's not possible with just soap. There is a way to do that, but I wouldn't advise to do it all the time. But what you can get is some isopropanol. That's 99.9% industrial cleaning alcohol. That's not for drinking. This stuff will make you go blind or kill you. Don't do that. But what you can do is fill a little bit of it in a container and then just soak the brush in it for a few seconds, swirl it around, let it work, let it rest for 5 minutes, and then drag it across the paper towel, and you will see some more color will come out. After you've done something like that, always clean the brush with clear water, especially when you're using real hair brushes. Just think what this stuff would do to your own hair, then you know what it will do to your brush. So when it comes to how often you should apply each one of these things, soap I would apply every time after you finished painting. During the painting, water might be enough. The isopropanol I use like once every 2 weeks on the brushes, and the brush restorer you apply as you seem necessary, but like once a month, depending on how much you paint, should be enough. Okay, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, just ask them in the comments. I will read them all. I will try to answer them. And in the next video, we're going to talk about some semi-essential accessories that you need or that will be beneficial for your modeling. Okay, thanks for watching. See you and bye-bye.